All right, who am I here with?
Joel Ramos.
And what happened?
I got 7th place at the most recent Remoto Regional.
Got any shout outs before we get into your deck profile?
Yep, shout out to the entirety of Reality A. Shout outs to my boy EJ, Noah, Vic from Untapped. Shout outs to my family. Shout outs to In Specifics from Reality A. Shout outs to Chris right there. Shout outs to Justin. Shout outs to Zach. Shout outs to Alec. Helped me get good testing against good players.
All right, ready to dive in?
Heck yeah.
All right, we'll start with the main deck.
Played Draco Tail for the event. Combo Tail, some might call it. So for Draco Tail engine, 3 Lucius, 1 Frixel, 3 Firmina, 3 Malulu, and then I only played 1 each of the big dragons. So standard, you only need the 1, standard. A lot of people say you could cut down on Malulu, but favorite card in the deck, best card. Sometimes when you're going second, it's better to normal this than it is to normal this, because this will just lose to so many more hand traps than this will, and this helps you break boards a lot easier when it's non-targeting, permanently negate. And then 1 of each of the big dragons, they're good, but I want the deck to be as small as it can be, and they are the real bricks kind of the deck, but they're not bad to draw, like if you draw them in combination with a Firmina. So yeah, and then Frixel, the most recent new card, helped a lot, like situations where I would Rahu for a Lucius, and then I could actually add back the card that I sent, and then normal summon this to grab back the Lucius to then still get like combo online. So yeah, all the engine, pretty standard, did what they needed to do. And then for the extra engine, we played 2 Darken, 2 Lighten, and then the 1 Tachyon Primal, and then the 1 Transmigration. These help you get into like the extra combo of your deck because you need access to rank 8s, and normally you can't make like a second 8 without fusion locking yourself with Rahu. So then these just being able to summon themselves essentially for free because you just banish cards from your extra, and then also being fusions on legs, on big bodies to help you go for game really helps out. And the second effects are like, okay, like this barely comes up to like make a guy lose 1500 attack, but it could come up. This came up a lot sometimes when I Creeper, I do play Nib, so I would sometimes summon the token and attack when I had this, so I could summon it and then just straight up pop the token. Primal's the brick. It sucks to draw sometimes, but not the worst draw because it's a dragon, so you can still make Secretarian with it. And Transmigration was the other brick I played, but it's really beneficial because Counter Trap, Omni Negate, activate from hand, and you can also just negate everything else your opponent activated in the chain. Round 2 I played against Chain Burn, and I would not have won that matchup if I couldn't negate all his burn traps in the chain. So yeah, this card saved me in that matchup. Then for the spells, 3 Ketsu. Shout out to Avery for the ulti. And then 3 Rahu, pretty standard. Wouldn't change them. And then for the non-engine, 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Droll, and then 2 Nib. I still wanted to play Nib in some capacity, didn't want to put it to 1 because I felt at that point I just wouldn't play it anymore. But playing 2 Nib was definitely the sweet spot, came up as much as I needed it to. Droll was good. Droll I decided to main deck instead of anything else because I didn't want to main Veilers because I felt Veilers didn't do that much, and Drolls, just in case I queued game 1 against Mitsurugi, I wanted to have something for that matchup, and then also just being able to loop it with Arthalion. All these being able to be looped with Arthalion is just really beneficial. Ghost Spell, I needed cards for the mirror match, and I didn't want to play Super Poly, so Ghost Spell really helped in the mirror, just being able to stop the traps, just being able to, like, if they badly timed an Arthalion activation, I could also stop that. That worked out. And then Ash is Ash, also helps in the mirror match, and then Fua, best Charmy, so you gotta main it. And then just the 3 traps, Sting, Horn, and Flame. Would main deck all of them again. Some say you don't need to main deck Sting, some say you don't even need to play Sting, but this is your best card into graveyard reliant decks. And then especially if you're playing like Crystron, this has helped a lot in like the pure Mitsurugi matchup where you can sometimes just hit the Kusa or the Night Sword and the spell they're trying to add back. So yeah, I definitely 100% in any version of this deck I play, I would play Sting. You want to do side or you want to do extra next?
Right, let's go on to the extra.
Alright. Second best deck, Sword Soul. Shout out to the tokens. Nice field center. And then for the extra, we'll start with the links first. I played 1 SP, the 1 Spirit, 1 Spheres. Pretty standard. I probably I'll probably continue to play SP because there are like rare scenarios where it would come up, but I never really summoned it in the regional at all. And then Spirit, Spheres, did this like almost every game. Hard making Spheres, now that you have extra dragons, instead of having to make the Spirit, also helps too because it's just easier access and you can keep this in your extra if the rare cases you bounce this back to your extra with Arthalion. So yeah, sometimes it could come up. And then for the rank 8s, the one Hopar, the one Dragluxion, and then the one Tachyon Dragon. The effect of Tachyon Dragon, a lot of people ask when they see this summon, they're like, what does it do? I tell them what it does, and then I'm like, yeah, this dragon's not really the one thing you need to worry about. It's the card that lets you activate Transmigration from hand, and also helps it so that you can clear up back row. And then the effect could come up to like negate everything else in the battle phase if you played against like a battle phase Reliant deck, but sometimes. And then Dragluxion, your Bridger, your Searcher for your Primal and your Transmigration, if you want to just straight go to Transmigration. And then Hopar, you make later in the combo. You could rank up with this. If you don't need this, you could rank up with this immediately into the Hopar, but a lot of the times you can just make it later in the combo with your 2 Spirits. And then we played the one Star Surf, and then some who play Combo Tail don't want to play Light and Darkness Dragon Lord, but there were funny scenarios where I could make this with the 2 other dragons and then just have 3 free Omni Negates to like make my opponent think about their plays more. And then Chaos, you're supposed to make it a lot more. I never made it. Most of the time I just banished it off of the dragons, but you're supposed to leave this in the extra sometimes to make it on your opponent's turn because it is a pop. It's a pop too, so it's good, but maybe I'll try and make it more. And then 2 friends, Mysterion and Secretarian, made this every game. Broken effect. Floodgate effect never really came up, even in mirror matches, because usually when this card is summoned in mirror, it literally does not matter because it's getting outed with like the next action. But yeah, it's mainly just used for the summon back effect. Mysterion helps a lot with the Yummy matchup. And yeah. And then for the Draco Tail names, played 2 Guilliman and 3 Arthalion. 3 Arthalion, mandatory. Would not play any less in any version of the deck. You need 3. It's your main grind game. It's your main way of like getting stuff back. 2 Guilliman. You lock yourself into dragons like a lot early on in the combo, so maybe you could find a reason to like cut this down to 1 and then maybe play like a Philia Regis or something. But I like the 2 Guilliman because sometimes I would end up making this if I didn't go into the dragon stuff, and then I would need another one to go for game when I summoned it off of Rahu, so it really helped. Side deck next. Fun. Alright, for side, played 3 Meows. It was either Meows or Perulia, and I was questioning it before the event, but I decided Meows would be more beneficial because I was realizing one of my worst matchups was Mitsurugi, and then my also deck that I seemingly can't beat and always screws me at the end of regionals, Malice. So this definitely came up in those matchups. It helped against one pure Mitsurugi, didn't help against Charlie, but it would have been beneficial if I saw it against them. And then the card that a lot of people told me not to play, but I really did want to play, is Contact Seed, because this card helps in a lot of matchups. If I saw Pure Canine, it helps against that. Never sided in against Mitsurugi because it doesn't stop them from ritual summoning, but against Yummy, I would side it in. I sided it in a lot against mirror matches because I played like 4 or 3 mirror matches at the regional, and every single game I sided this card in, I saw it in my hand. Didn't always get to use it, but when I did, it always just sealed the game. So yeah, definitely would play this again. Played 2 Phantasma and played the 3rd Nib. I didn't want to main 3 Nib as I said earlier, but I would side the 3rd just if like I was facing Yummy, like pure Yummy. I would just have it in the side for like an extra side in against them. And then 2 Phantasma. Maybe I could have found space in the side to play the 3, but just wanted 2 Phantasma because it's a broken card this format against Yummy. So yeah, just needed it. And the targeting protection always does come up to like stop a surprise, stop a cookie book. And then best card in the side deck, 3 Fenrir. Stacking this on top of your dragon board as another interruption, stopping Retaliating Sea, having it like I bricked against Charlie game 2, but I was able to win that I was able to win simply because my brick was better than his brick, because I had Flame and then my last card on the side plus Fenrir, and I was just able to add Fenrirs from my deck to my hand to deck thin until I drew into engine that I needed. Best card inside. And then final card inside, 3D barrier. Thank God this card is banned now. This card is stupid. Both my games that I lost at the regional were to this card. Would always play it if I could anymore, but I'm glad it's gone. And yeah, broken card. Glad it's banned. Good riddance.
If you were going to make any changes, what would you do?
If I was going to make any changes, like I said earlier with the extra, maybe I would try and play Ophilia Regis, just because like the extra banish could come up over to the second Guillemot. But I did like playing the second Guillemot, so it was fine. Wouldn't make any changes to the main deck, maybe mix around the hand traps a little. And then the side, I felt like the side was good. Maybe I wouldn't play the... I feel like I had to play the D-Bears. I wanted to try to find space for the third Phantasme, but I just couldn't. So, we made with what we had.
All right. Well, good shit. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Catch you next time.
Peace.